Hello friends, I am Dr. Vinod Kumar Advani, Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences College, Bhopal. Dear friends, in this session we will discuss the basic terms of the income tax, that is agriculture income and exempted income. In first session we already covered some basic terms. Now we are going to discuss exempted incomes and agriculture incomes. In this session, we will cover 5 topics related with agriculture income. First topic we will cover concept of agriculture income. Second topic we will cover some examples of agriculture income. Third topic we will cover the kinds of agriculture income. Fourth topic we will cover the partial or partly agriculture income, and finally fifth we will cover non-agriculture incomes with some examples. In this session we will also cover the exempted incomes as per Indian Income Tax Act. In this particular topic we have 3 subtopics. First is concept of exempted income, second categories or classification of exempted incomes, and third will be the brief list of some exempted incomes. Before starting the discussion on agriculture income, the concept of agriculture income, friends, we should know what is the importance or significance of agriculture sector in the economy of our country. In our country, our 17% GDP comes from agriculture sector. 80 crore of Indian population and 16 crore households are based on agriculture income. Agriculture income is the source of their living. We have first rank in the world in the terms of cropped area of agriculture income. We have 7th position in the exports of the agriculture commodities in 120 countries worldwide. Dear friends, agriculture sector is one of the best employer, or you can say largest employer in our country. Around 51% labor force of our country is based on agriculture income. Our labor force is maximum involved in agriculture sector. Dear friends, this is the importance or significance of agriculture income in our economy. So, we can understand agriculture sector is the pillar of our Indian economy. So, according to section 10 of Indian Income Tax Act, the agriculture income is 100% exempted from income tax. That is why we have no income tax on agriculture income in India. Now, we start the discussion on the concept of agriculture income. Any direct income which is received or earned from agriculture operation, and the receiver has the interest on land, but the land should be situated in India, is known as or termed as agriculture income. On the basis of this particular definition, we can discuss 4 major characteristics or features of agriculture income. First feature, the agriculture land must be situated in India. Second feature, the agriculture land should be used for the agriculture operations only. If you are doing something else on agriculture land, it will be not agriculture income. Third one, the assessee, or you can say the owner of the land, should have interest in the land. Interest means he should take this particular land on rent, or he should be the owner of this particular land. The income, fourth one, the income will be derived from the direct agriculture operations. If we have any income in this particular topic, but not satisfying all 4 activities, it will be not covered under agriculture income. Now, we have the classification of agriculture income. First agriculture income is rent received from the let out agriculture land. Second, agriculture land used for own agriculture operations. Third, income from farmhouse. So, let us start the discussion on all these 3 categories one by one. First income, agriculture income. I am taking the rent received from agriculture land, or you can say let out agriculture land. A particular person who is the owner of the agriculture land let out this agriculture land to another person for agriculture activities, then such income should be known as agriculture income. But two conditions we have to satisfy: land must be situated in India, and second, land should be used for agriculture operations. We can understand this rental income with a simple example also. Suppose Mr. Badri is the owner of 20-acre land in the village Jhirni, district Bhopal, and he made an agreement with Mr. Joshi for let out this particular rent, and Mr. Joshi will use this particular land for the rice farming. Then this particular income will be agriculture income for Mr. Badri, who is the owner of this particular land. Second category of agriculture income is own farming on own agriculture land. This income is also direct agriculture income, but in this particular case the agriculture land should be used by the owner for his own farming or agriculture operation activities. Farming or agriculture operation activity means the sowing of the seeds, planting, cultivation, harvesting and other related activities with agriculture. In this particular direct income, we also include all the activities making the product fit for the sell in the market, and we include all the activities that we are doing for the marketing of our agriculture product. We can also understand this particular income with an example. Suppose Mr. Bharti is the owner of 10-acre land of agriculture in Bhopal, and he earned rupees 5 lakh from the sale of sugarcane grown in this particular agriculture land. Then this income will be agriculture income. Third and the last category of agriculture income is income from farmhouse. In this particular case, suppose an SSE has its own farmhouse, then income derived from such farmhouse is known as agriculture income. But remember, in this case he has to satisfy 4 basic conditions for being agriculture income. First one, SSE should be the owner of this farmhouse. Second, this farmhouse should be situated in agriculture land or nearby agriculture land. This farmhouse, all construction should be related with agriculture activities or agriculture land. Fourth, this farmhouse should be situated in rural area or you can say non-urban area. This particular category we can also understand with the example. Suppose Mr. Vishal has a farmhouse in village Jhirnia, district Indore, and he earned income of rupees 10 lakh from such farmhouse with agriculture activities. Then this income will be supposed as agriculture income. So, it will be exempted 100% as per Income Tax Act. Now, we will start the discussion on some examples of agriculture income. Here we have some examples related with agriculture income. Number 1, income from growing crops. Number 2, income from selling the agriculture product that should be own grown. Income from growing flowers, creepers and plants. Income from growing vegetable and fruits. Income as a rent from agriculture rent. Income from the sale of the seeds derived from the self agriculture activities, etc. are some examples of agriculture income. Dear friends, in real life we have some incomes, that is the mixture or combination of non-agriculture income and agriculture income. In this case, the segregation or you can say the dividation of agriculture and non-agriculture income is a difficult task, but dividation or segregation is important or you can say the compulsory, because we have agriculture income exempted and non-agriculture income is not exempted. So, we have to charge tax on non-agriculture income. We can understand this partial or partly agriculture income with 2 examples. First example is, suppose Bhopal sugar industry produces the sugar from own grown sugar cane in the farms, then it is partial agriculture income. Second example we have, suppose Tata Tea Limited produces or manufacture tea that is grown in their own tea gardens, that is example of partial taxable or partial exempted agriculture incomes, mixture of non-agriculture income and agriculture incomes. Now, in this particular case we have the guidelines under Income Tax Act 1961 for the distribution of such income in agriculture and non-agriculture activities. First of all, in case of growing and producing tea, 60% of this particular income will be known as agriculture income and remaining portion 40% will be treated as non-agriculture income. Some percentage different in case of growing and producing coffee. In this particular case 75% will be the agriculture income and 25% will be the non-agriculture income. Suppose we are engaged or involved in the production of latex or rubber, then 65% will be the agriculture income and 35% will be non-agriculture income. Suppose a particular manufacturer engaged in the production of sugar from own grown sugar cane, then we have the different rule for the distribution or dividation of agriculture and non-agriculture income. In this particular case, all the production of the sugar cane at market value, I repeat at open market value, will be deducted as the allowable expenses for the calculation of the non-agriculture income, or you can say business income. So, this rule is quite different from tea, coffee and rubber. In this particular case, all the expenses related with the agriculture or cultivation of sugarcane will be ignored. Dear friends, now moving toward the last topic of agriculture income, that is non-agriculture income. Why we are discussing non-agriculture income in this particular topic? The reason is, in real life some categories or you can say some activities looking like agriculture income, but these are not agriculture income because these are 100% taxable under Income Tax Act. We have a brief list of such activities. First one is income from dairy farming. It is not agriculture income at all. Income from fisheries, income from poultry farming, income from sale of earth clay, income from salt making, income from bricks making, income from water supply. All these are non-agriculture income, hence not exempted. These are fully taxable under Income Tax Act. Dear friends, you know income is the base of charging of income tax, but charging income tax on each and every income is not possible and not justified also. Some incomes are exempted for the purpose of calculation of income tax. Under section 10 of Income Tax Act, we have the detailed list of exempted incomes under Income Tax Act 1961. Some other exempted incomes also given in other section and other part of this particular act. Now, first we have to understand what is the meaning or concept of exempted income. The exempted income means a particular exempted income that is earned or received by a particular assessee during a financial year, or income tax language it is previous year, that is not taxable at all, is known as exempted income. These types of incomes we are exclude while calculation of taxable income, or you can say total income of an assessee or a person. These exempted income we can classify in 3 different categories. We will discuss all these 3 categories with some of these examples. First category of exempted incomes is exempted incomes, or you can say list of exempted income, that is exempted for all categories of assessee, or you can say for all type of taxable persons. First income or example of first income in this particular case is income from agriculture activities. Number 2, share of profit from partnership firm to a particular partner. Some received by an individual from HUF. Life insurance policy maturity value received from any life insurance corporation. Amount received from Public Provident Fund. Amount received from Sukanya Smriddhi Yojana. All type of interest on notified investment, notified means tax free investment notified by the Government of India. All type of awards and rewards, all type of scholarships and fellowships. So, these are some example of exempted incomes for all type of assessees. Now, we are going to discuss the second category of exempted income, that is related with special funds and institutions. Under the second category of exempted incomes, we have the list of exempted incomes that is exempted only for certain funds and institutions. For example, number 1, income of newspaper agency, number 2, income of local authorities, number 3, income of scientific research institutions, number 4, income of certain national funds, number 5, income of registered trade unions, number 6, income of Prasar Bharati. These are some examples of exempted incomes for certain funds and institutions. Finally, third category, we have the list of exempted incomes for non-resident Indian and non-citizens of India. In this particular section, first income is securities held by interest on securities held by non-resident Indians. Second is national saving certificates held by the non-resident Indian. Third, all the allowances and perks given by the government of India when any employee works in foreign country. The last and the fourth in this particular exempted income section is the salary income received by a particular foreign person for working in India. Dear friends, in this particular session, we covered some topics of agriculture income and some topics of exempted income. I hope now all of you have the detailed knowledge of agriculture income and exempted income, which will be useful for your study of income tax. Thank you very much.